Lovely. Well, this is such an idyllic site. I mean, you've got the Hardy monument in the background, and you've got the cattle there. So we're going to go look at your Herbal Leys now, aren't we?
Fantastic.
Which do you know what? So I've learned a lot about holiday cottages, but the interesting thing about the Herbal Ley thing is it's SFI, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've done it under.
Yeah.
So that's something I've mentioned a few times on my videos. When I was talking to Rob the other day, and he just mentioned about he's done Herbal Leys, and I was like, ooh, because I don't really know what those look like, and we're going to have a look at that, and maybe it's something you're going to see on my place at some point. Right, let's go. Crack on, Rob.
Great.
So there we go. That was a quick chat with Rob, and farm manager Hazza is coming with me. We're going to go and look at his Herbal Leys, which is going to be interesting for me. We shut the gate and we head off. Can we stop the car? We're actually at a viewpoint now, aren't we?
Yeah, so this is the entrance to the farm here. So looking out across here, you can see Weymouth Bay over to the east there. And then, so that's Weymouth, that's where our home farm is there. And then you can see Portland, the Isle of Portland.
Ah, that's the Isle of Portland.
That's the Isle of Portland.
Yeah. We stayed there once actually on that island.
Did you?
Yeah, we had a cottage, or not a cottage, a little flat there, and it's beautiful. And there's a good museum for World War II there and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much.
And beautiful over there. Lovely beach.
Yeah. And then can you see that?
The sort of bar.
There?
Yeah.
So that is the fleet, and that's of Dam Busters fame. So that's where Bars Wallace, they tested the bombs along the fleet, and that's the famous Chesil Beach.
Chesil Beach, we've been down there. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an amazing view, isn't it?
Oh, it's
beautiful.
Great, yeah, it really is.
I guess living here, do you sort of get a bit used to it because you see it all the time, don't you?
I guess there is a little bit of that, but at the same time, when you just drive out, you're just looking at that.
Wow.
But in the winter it's usually fog.
Yeah. So your farm we're going to is just up there, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
So the farm building's here.
Oh, and what's the monument at the top?
So that's Hardy's monument, and there are lots of Hardys around here, but that's Nelson's Hardy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what?
Was useless.
I might end up there tomorrow because the wife was saying to me, where are we going to go tomorrow? So we might go somewhere like that. There's loads of lovely walks and views around here.
It's amazing, and it is brilliant up there because that was spot picked purposely because you can see so much of Dorset from that spot, and you can see Hardy's monument from when you're driving in towards Dorchester and places. You can see it in the distance.
Rob, have you ever thought you could just, as well as doing your holiday cottage, you could be the tour guide for the area when you
No, because when it comes to facts,
just make them up. I'll believe you.
I'll just get them wrong.
I'll believe you. Right, should we head on?
Brilliant.
Crack on.
Brilliant.
Right, just open the gate. We'll go down and see them. Open the gate there, Rob. Good gate opening. We should have had Harry, the farm manager, doing that.
No, I'm not going to.
So what breeds have you got down here, and what are we actually going to see?
So the first group we're going to go and see are some bulling heifers, which are crossbred heifers that we're contract rearing for a friend and neighbour. And so this is the first bit of Herbal Ley we're driving through.
Right, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, it looks all right.
Some more detail over there. And then this contract's coming to end, so we're in mid-change at the moment. When we just started buying our own heifers to rear again, which we'll go and see in a minute.
So you'll be rearing those to sell to market, will you? Or?
No, we'll be selling. So we've got a guy who, so Dan will be helping us source the heifers, these young heifers, and then he'll be helping us market them to go straight into hers. He'll have buyers.
Right. Oh, okay. So you've sort of got someone liaising that.
Yeah.
Big open fields, aren't they?
Yeah. So basically,
you strip grazing them then?
Yeah. So
they look good.
Rotationally grazed. So yeah.
What breed did you say these were?
So these are all Jersey crossbreds, Jersey Friesian.
What made you choose Jersey then? That's unusual, isn't it?
So these are our neighbours. cattle, but these are exactly the sort that we used to milk. So
Right.
basically, they're just perfect for grazing. They're small animals. They really convert grazed grass into
Right.
milk.
Yeah.
High butterfat and protein, perfect for
Compare
cheese.
with the Holstein, which is high intensity, which you originally did, didn't you?
We originally did, and until the late 90s, we swapped over in the late 90s, and then and they're just very good on their feet, very fertile, and very good health.
Low,
wise.
you know, they don't need a lot of maintenance.
No.
Well, we got
exactly.
British Friesians. It's very similar.
So it's a similar thing.
Yeah, you
exactly,
know, they don't need a lot of
No.
looking after compared with, say, a Holstein, which is a bit more intensive, isn't
Exactly. So,
it? I'll get and have a look.
yeah,
They
let's
look
go.
wonderful. Hey, look at them all. So how many are out here then, Rob?
140.
Crikey.
So yeah. So
Wow, they look in really good nick, don't they? Are they pretty good on the electric fence? They don't ever break it? I'm going to say they never get out, do
never
they?
get out.
They never get out. That's a right smile on your face
Of
there.
course they do. So no, they're nicely trained to, but yeah, you come out some days and it's.
And they're over. I mean, if they get out, they're just into the next bit of pasture, I suppose.
Yeah, they've been used to it from a young age. So
Yeah. They all look really healthy.
yeah.
How do you? What about flies? Do you have a problem with that? I think. Do you treat them or anything?
yes, so they were treated. So I think probably it was on the Monday, so that would have been 10 days ago, something like that. But we do struggle with it because nothing seems to be, whatever we treat them. We tried different ones. It doesn't seem perfect, but it does. Yeah, it does take the worst.
What are you using at the moment? Because I'm using Spot On.
Yeah, spot and also it's similar.
It's job to know what's right, isn't it? Because it doesn't last that long, does it?
No, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So these will be brought in again next week, and then we just weigh them.
Yeah.
And just keep a check on their growth rates. And,
They look really good nick though, don't they?
yeah.
And you're not giving them anything other than grass then? There's no concentrate feeding or anything?
No. So the farm's about 220 acres that we rent, and so we've got about 110 acres in the middle here. Has just gone into the Herbal Leys, which we'll talk about in a minute. Just over there in the distance, you can see 3 acres of winter bird mix. You can just see the first.
Really?
Yeah. So that first sunflower popped out yesterday, I think. So there's loads of sunflowers in there.
Which tree are we talking?
So
I see the band of trees.
Yeah,
yeah, sorry, I was looking at the
That's
horizon.
it. And there's 3 acres there, just above the fence
I can just
line.
see a lonely sunflower there.
Lonely sun, yeah, there are a few others, but they'll be coming out in the next.
There it is. Well, I'm going to see the sunflowers in the next video.
Yeah, remember
You'll see the sunflowers in the next video, which will be up tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Well, actually, it might be the milk station tomorrow, but the video after that is the Dorset Sunflower Trail.
Yeah, I know.
You've not quite got the sunflower trail there with one sunflower, Rob. You have to try harder.
It looks a bit sad, doesn't it? Hopefully there'll be more coming out soon.
So is that on SFI as well? The
It's not SFI. So why I'm hesitating, the 110 acres on the outside in permanent pasture, that's still on countryside stewardship.
Yeah, I'm in that.
And so the Herbal Ley is SFI, and I think I'm pretty sure the winter bird mix was SFI. But
Right. We'll have a look at the Herbal mix in a minute. I'm just going to go down and have a look at these lovely cattle. It's so nice to see them in a big group like this. They're quite friendly, aren't they? They've all come up like this.
Oh, really?
Are they sort of hand-reared quite, you know?
Yeah, and if you wander in them, they'll be...
I'm worried about this fence. He just jumped over. You weren't worried.
No,
Is that on?
That's on, but...
Well, you weren't worried about losing any tackle there, were you?
I'm not touching it, though.
Hey?
I've gauged the height.
Right. All right, Harry, they're almost your height, aren't they? What do you think of these? Do you want to get any like
More
that?
friendly.
Which ones do you want to get?
I like these ones.
So these are the jerseys then, are they?
Yeah, I've got more jersey in them.
Yeah. Wow.
They're all similar, sort of Kiwi, Kiwi breeding.
Hey.
I don't want to do it now, actually.
Do you want us to scratch?
Oh dear.
Oh, there's the farmer with your animals love you, and the one's having a little piggyback at the back.
Yeah.
If I was country farm, we'd have to cut that out.
Absolutely.
They are beautiful though, aren't they? I'm going to walk amongst them. Let's give everyone who's watching this a cattle eye view. All right, girls and boys. It's all girls, is it? All heifers, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Hello. 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 I see a couple of mineral lick buckets over there. Is that? That's for them, is it?
Actually, they've actually just got rock salt
Right.
at the moment, so
Yeah.
they just put rock salt out
Yeah.
them all the time, so they've always got a lick, lick there. But But basically, we just got the farm divided into 6-acre paddocks, and so this is roughly 6 acres here, and they come into this paddock and just give them a fresh break every day.
I'm going to say how often do you move it?
Yeah, just every day.
Right.
And then this will be shut up, and then they will come back here for about 50 days or something like that. So
I mean, it really works well when you've got a big field like this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's not too hard to divide up, is it?
No, and again, we've got 18 paddocks, but again, number of paddocks doesn't matter. It's just that this is 30, that's 30, that's 12, that's 18, that's 18.
Right.
So 6 acres divided into all those.
I'm interested in this. You've got very big fields which traditionally weren't on farms. How long ago do you think these fields were made into this size? Were they always this size?
Yeah, so I've always known this size, and I think they have been this size for a long time.
Yeah.
You don't see any little places where there are some other walls.
Because where I live, I've got lots of little fields.
Yeah.
You know, I've got more hedgerows. You've got, I mean, stone walls are impressive around here, aren't they?
Loads of, so we've got few hedges here, really, but miles of stone wall.
Yeah.
My dad always used to sort of think, I wonder what whiskery old bugger who built those all those years
You
ago.
admire the blokes who built a wall like that all the way in the middle of nowhere. It's not like loads of people were going to see it either, is it?
No,
it's
exactly.
just.
But what a task, isn't it?
I guess the stone was probably fairly close to the surface, and it gave them the option.
So the stone would have come out probably coming up that quarry where we drove up through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all local. This has all been.
But you know, the effort involved. I mean, I've got nearly all hedges around on our farm.
Yes.
I've just paid to have a bit of re-walling done. It cost me a fortune.
Yeah.
But that was in the garden.
It's very labour intensive.
It is. And we can still see the Hardy monument up the top there. Look at that, and it's lovely up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is it? Right, let's go and have a look at your Herbal Leys, Rob. You can tell me about those, because I want to know about these. Rob, we're up. So we just walked away from where they are. There's obviously grazing this all the time, and I've talked with you a little bit off camera about Herbal Leys.
Yeah.
Now this is a new thing, really, isn't it, with the SFI?
Yeah.
In the fact that there's funding to help pay for this, and you get a base payment if you put it in.
Yeah.
But tell me, what was here before the Herbal Ley?
So we've been growing Herbal Leys for quite a while.
So you're already doing it before SFI?
Some of it, yeah. So back on home farm, some of it was GS4, which was the stewardship one before, and it all started probably in 2010 when we just really burnt up that summer just growing ryegrass at home, and so we started looking at other things, Coxford and Timothy's, and so we just started looking at deeper rooting species basically, and then started growing some Herbal Leys, and I just think it fits perfectly for this land. It's quite light land here, and it fits perfectly for being deeper rooting, helping the soil structure, getting down to moisture and things, but where direct payments are being phased out and towards more environmental schemes, I think it's just a total win-win, and I think that getting paid to do something which is good for your business, good for the farm, and also from a PR point of view, it's so much better than the old direct payments.
So for those people who don't know, what exactly is a Herbal Ley? What's in a Herbal Ley?
Yeah, so it's mixed species basically. So I've got a list. We can have a look at the list. What's actually in here. But there's a variety of grasses: Timothy's, Coxfoots. Then there are clovers, legumes. You've got chicory, plantain. So the key to it is having different species, and they've all got different root depths, and they're doing a different thing.
So really it's going back to what farming was like probably 100 years ago, isn't it, where the pastures were very mixed, whereas modern farming has tend to go to sort of just Italian ryegrass or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
which is very productive.
Monoculture.
Yeah, monoculture. Yeah.
And again, that is just one of the secrets of it, and it's funny how things go around in circles, but a lot of things you can do research and see what people were growing back in those early days that they moved away from, and you can see some of the benefits that they were getting. So
let's have a zoom down and see. So if you were looking at this, you've got quite a variety of stuff here. Do you know all the names of them? Because I'm not very good on all of them. What's this one called? That's obviously a plantain. There we go.
Grass,
That's a plantain there.
Yeah.
And you've got your clovers in here.
Yeah, you've got red clover and
it's
white.
gone.
Red and white clovers. Yeah. That's the plantain there, and you've got your chicories there as well. That's the wider leaf one, like that as well. You can see the red clovers and the white clovers.
Yeah.
I think when you said you weren't very good on your species.
Yeah.
I think we all have strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I could tell you any tree. I could tell you from a piece of bark or a piece of wood,
Right.
or a leaf. I could tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Any tree.
So I think
in the UK.
the same with this. So a weakness of mine is I have a low boredom threshold.
Well,
and I think that
you and me both. I think it's my twin brother.
so I think when it comes to detail,
Yeah.
when it's the original detail of the mix, I'd be interested. If it's a decision I'm making on the day, I'm interested in the detail. But I think almost I'd be saying, right, Cotswold, whoever, they know what the best mix is. So as well as buying
Cotswold seeds, that's who we used. Yeah,
so this is all theirs.
Yeah.
And I think I'd be saying, as well as we're buying the seed, we're buying your expertise.
That's very true.
This. So
Yes.
I'm not going to phone you up and say, could we increase the yarrow by 2%? You know, I'm not interested. So they've got a good mix. Then I'd probably get a little bit of OCD about spinning it on at the right rate.
I was going to say, how did you put it on?
So
you didn't plough this? Did you direct drilled it? What did you do?
All min-till. So under the SFI, you can you can use an existing one, but you can incorporate into what you had here. So we were pretty herbally before, anyway. So we just cultivated it over the top. So we went behind the heifers through the spring.
So what sort of cultivation was it involved to put this on? I'm interested because you asked someone who's done it before, like you said about the holiday cottage. I'm interested to know how you put it on.
So I can show you the cultivator. Basically, we've just got a 4.5 metre wide cultivator. It's an old cultivator. And we just went over it sort of 4 or 5 times, crossed it, so it really scuffed it up.
Right.
So it was going in after, following round when the heifers had grazed.
Yeah.
And then on that cultivator is just a little spinner seeder. And so cultivated it on and then spun it on and then just ring rolled and flat rolled.
Right. So quite minimal cultivation then, really. Yeah.
But it gave enough soil to for seed contact plus what was already there. So this will be a combination of new seed and some of what was existing.
What would it? I'm trying to think what it would have been like before you put it on. Was it just grass and no other sort of herbs in it or anything?
So we've always grown a lot of clover and quite a lot of plantain. So some of it I've sown, some seems to be quite natural and things. So the chicory would be new, and also some of the to be more red clover. We probably just grew white clover as well. So there'd be more red clover growing now, and then plus some of the chicory coming up.
And you're obviously grazing this, and they're loving it. But from a point of view, if you're making, say, silage or anything like that, would you get enough yield on it on a first cut compared with what you had before?
So that's really interesting. And so when we started doing it back at home when we were milking, the two things we noticed was, first of all, if we went dry in the summer, the ryegrass would just give up the ghost, and then the things like the cox and coxswains are more modern varieties, so they're more palatable than they used to be, but they would carry on growing. But also the growth is much slower in the spring than ryegrass, so if you're just doing it for silage, you won't get the yield. But their natural growth is more even over the season.
Okay,
so grazing it's brilliant because then you don't have it all a sudden flush in May where you're trying to cut everything.
That's very true, because I noticed on our silage it was Italian ryegrass, some of it flipping hell that goes off in the spring, but after that not a lot.
No, it's not. So that's so it's a double advantage really, that it gives a more even supply of grass through the spring, but also through the summer, but also where it's deeper rooting, then it copes with that stress much better.
So it works really well with your grazing regime then, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, it really does.
You know, and like you said, these aren't massively intensive animals.
No.
I'd be interested to know if you could sort of what a milking herd would be like on them. I don't know whether that would make any difference.
So we used to milk on them on the Herbal Leys, and I think just bits of research I've heard that if you put the cows into ryegrass and Herbal Ley and got them to eat it right down, you probably get a little bit more milk off the ryegrass. So sometimes the secret is to let them be a bit selective, not be too hard on it. But then for us, so if we could be guaranteed rain all year, well, whatever, but we can't. So then what we would find is that through the summer, that if our biggest threat was losing production from lack of rainfall, the ryegrass falling away, yield crashing, whereas the Herbal Leys would keep going on, and we'd keep the milk flowing better through the rest of the year.
I imagine you get a bit more sun here than we do in probably Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
Or your spring is a little bit earlier. I mean, I'm sort of interested because I see a lot of people on Facebook and stuff when they let their cows out and stuff. Like we let ours out sort of mid to end of April probably.
Yeah.
Would you have an earlier season here for grazing and stuff?
So we're on quite a dry coastal belt, so very summer dry, but it is earlier. And even just, there's the Ridgeway going along there, and even just a couple of miles inland of Dorchester, we're always a degree or two warmer here in the spring. So it's always, it is.
Would you say early April for you, or
well, it's
end
a little
of March,
bit different. So these ones, they would have had through the winter, they'd had a sort of best of both system, as it were. So they were grazing grass every day in that field there with a bale of silage.
Oh, okay.
They could go back into the barn when they want, so they could go in or out.
Yeah.
And then all that happened in the spring as they gradually just stay out a bit longer.
Right.
So
okay.
They're almost.
You must have good draining soil here then, really, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think we could do that on ours. It would just, it's too clayey and stuff, you know, and poacher, it would just, but also you got the space, haven't you, like I said about the big fields, you know, we haven't got that kind of range of space like you've got. I mean, got vast, I haven't got a field as big as this.
No,
you know?
So we didn't at home either, you know, so it's quite a different landscape.
Yeah, beautiful landscape there.
Yeah,
Rob,
it's amazing.
Thank you, mate, that's awesome. So we're going to go and have a look at your heifers, then we'll wrap up, because this is a long video, but it's a really good video. Honestly, I am absolutely loving this. Like, probably spend all day with you in the field talking about stuff.
Are probably rabbiting a little bit.
Don't worry about it, mate. It's awesome. Are you enjoying it, Harry?
Yeah.
Harry really just needs to see a tractor, I think.
Well, there's one back in the yard.
All right, let's go. We're out in the field where your heifers are, Rob. Now we're going to walk through this. First thing I notice is what a difference. This is Herbal Ley again, is it?
Yes, this Herbal Ley again established last year, but this is very overstood. Well, not very overstood. So this hasn't been grazed for over 50 days.
Right.
So this time of year, I'll be looking to graze it at about 40 days.
But it's got ahead of you a bit, like we have.
So 10 days ago, didn't have the seed heads, and that would have been perfect. But these heifers we're going to look at in a minute, they've only just come onto the farm a few days ago, so we literally didn't have the heifers to graze it 10 days ago. So even though it's a bit overstood, I'm not too fussed. I'm not getting them to graze it down too tightly. They're just going to take the best of what they can. We'll get it back under control. But again, same system. We're in a 6-acre paddock here, and they're just getting a fresh break every day. New onto the farm last week, so they're just getting wire trained, and think they got the hang of it now. So
just about.
So,
take a bit of time. But I'm just curious. You see, this is something I've not seen on our. Well, we don't have this on our farm. I'm going to pick this one out. You don't mind. So the lovely blue, it's very attractive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a completely different thing having a Herbal Ley than it is having a normal ley, isn't it? Because you wouldn't see this, and if farmers had that in a normal, they go, "What? Get those weeds out of there."
Yeah.
So what is that one?
So that's a chicory flower.
So I've no experience with chicory at all, but do the cattle like it? Or do they pick round it? Or?
They like it when it's leafy, and they don't like it like that. So that's completely overstood.
Yeah.
And that will need
topping at some point.
I probably will.
Yeah.
But
and you got that's a vetch there, isn't it? That's a nice one. We get that on the farm. So that comes with the seed mix then.
Yeah. I'll show you the seed mix in a minute. I meant to just now. So when I was talking about the detail now of what's in there, like I said, I'm interested in the detail of what goes in the first place, interested in getting it sewn right and things, but being honest, this is well, not so good, is that once it's in, I just know I've got a good herbal because I think the thing is,
that's fair enough,
I think the thing is that there's nothing I can do about that now. So if I come in here in the morning, I'm interested in going.
You're looking at heifers, and as long as they got something to eat, they're totally happy, aren't they?
Is there anyone coughing? Is there a bad eye or something like that? And also, although I think you should be interested, I suppose, in what has grown well on your farm, what hasn't. I know that in, say, 4 years' time, if we order some more seed, we'll never have the same conditions when this was sown, weather, rain, all the rest of it. So I'll just be buying the same seed again and putting it in, and what grows.
I mean, from my point of view, this is interesting because I would never see any of our fields like this at the moment, and so it takes a bit of getting your head round it to see a field like this, because this is not what we're brought up to understand, is it?
No, it's not.
You know, I mean, most farmers would look at this up to this sort of last few years and see this is, oh my God, you've got a lot of weeds out there. No offence to you, but that's kind of like how we've been conditioned, isn't it, in the last 20, 30 years of farming, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, one good thing is the chicory and things, it hides the docks.
Well, the docks are an issue with every farmer, aren't they?
But to be serious about it, I think once you are really engaged with it, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, does it?
Well, everyone's farm, it's got to be right for them.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd have loved to have walked in here 10 days ago, and I've got a picture, and it just looked great. The chicory wasn't overstood, and it just looked great. But this is what it is, and I'm not fussed about it. There is so much good foraging.
Well, I can see that. I mean, this is the height up here you ignore, but this bit down here, you can see that.
So much in there.
There's plenty of grazing in there.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to put my heifers out on that. Yeah. Crikey, I wish I had some grass like that for them at the moment.
Yeah, and the secret with that is you can see what they've been grazing down behind.
Yeah.
You can see they've left a lot of the stalky stuff.
Right,
and the
which is natural, isn't it? They do that with the docks or anything, don't they?
Exactly.
They'll eat the leaf and just leave the rest.
Yeah, and I might just, when they finish this paddock, I might just run those crossbreds over it for a day, because they're more aggressive grazers, and there'll still be plenty here. But these are a different breed, and so I want to learn about grazing these and not put too much.
So what breed are these then?
So
these Friesians?
These are Holstein Friesians.
Holstein Friesians, right.
Yeah, so the reason we're buying those is just purely for being able to sell them, whereas there's not such a market for the crossbreds, and it's usually a block calving, whereas we'll be able to sell these all
well, you've got the best of both with the Friesian Holstein cross, I would have thought. I mean, you've got the milk productivity and the longevity and stuff.
Yeah, and they're still going to be grazed, so we'll make sure that we feed them well, and so again it'll be simple. They'll just get regularly weighed, and we know what our targets will be, and we'll
go and have a look. Go on, let's go and say hello. They're lovely looking, aren't they? They're all very healthy. Lovely. Well, this is such an idyllic site. I mean, you've got the Hardy monument in the background, and you've got the cattle there. And Harry's going to say hello. Let's have a look at them. They're all very content, aren't they? Look at them all just sat down. So how long ago did you put them out on here?
So they just came to farm exactly a week ago.
Yeah.
And so at the moment there's different sizes ranging from 200 to 350. So when they came, the day they came onto farm, they were just weighed and spot and awed, and then the next few days we'll take them back into the yard. They'll get a bolus, and then we'll split them into two groups according to weight. And so we've got some more clovery stuff over the fence. We'll put the younger ones.
But how long have they been on this patch of grass?
Sorry, so this bit, they had a couple of training days. They probably this actual patch since this morning, so they've probably been 3 or 4 days just.
Oh, so that was yesterday's or the other days, was it? Right.
You see, there's another fence going just about 25 paces on.
Even the bit you took them off, they've still got plenty of grub there, haven't they?
And again,
it's
really
not a problem.
Set them into a new system, and not putting pressure on them.
Yeah. Well, they're very chilled, aren't they? Well, I bet they weren't when they first arrived. They should have jumped around a bit, did they?
Well, I had it all set up with the wires, but the first thing they did was just they just
go straight through the wire.
Really quiet, really lovely quiet, but they walked through it. So
of course they would. They're heifers, aren't they?
Yeah, but they've got the thing now.
Wow. Just in time while I'm having a poo. There you go, mate. Well, Rob, do you know what? Thank you so much for bringing me up here. Thank you for showing me around
No, I love
What a lucky break it was booking a holiday cottage with you guys and be able to come up and see this as well. Because this is my holiday, but this is it's like a busman's holiday they call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're happy. They're at home watching Netflix.
Yeah,
they probably had enough of me already today.
It's been a complete pleasure. Normally I'm just up here on my own chatting to them.
Chatting to the guests.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice actually just to talk
Brilliant.
about
Rob, thanks very much. And don't forget, your holiday cottage, where can...
Wild Meadow Cottages.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Come and see Rob.
Cheers.